What's up, comic book junkies? Good morning and happy 4th of July, which is tomorrow. I just don't have time. I wanted to put out a 4th of July video. So I put up the mystery box video, 1 in 10 chance to win this, and I'll put it right here, but an Iron Man 1, 3.0 to 3.5, and some early X-Men. I mean, low grade, but it's all there. Covers are there. And then it's 30 to 40 comic book sampler, really good stuff. 50% Marvel. That's going mystery box, and then like 40% DC, and of course 10% other. It's going to be one Golden Age in every box. And what else? It could be other stuff. I might substitute 10 comics for a nice t-shirt. There'll be I'm going to put in some little things. I'm not going to say what they are because I want my mystery boxes to be unique and different, and I want people to want them. So I'm hoping that the value is going to exceed whatever you pay to try to win it.
Watch Nighttiger comic.
Tiger comic.
Tiger comic. Nighttiger comic. Nighttiger comic.
What? Nighttiger comic?
Nighttiger comic.
Yeah.
You never know what you're missing. Okay, so I went to the flea market. I didn't purchase any comics, but I did get some. The lady said if I watched her booth, and I had interacted with her the weekend before and watched her booth for her, she would give me 6 comics. I picked 4 because it was mostly 90s and beat up stuff. So what did I get? I just grabbed this because of the cover, and it's because it's an older book, but I like the USA on that. Appropriate for celebrating the birth of our country. And I don't even know what year this is. It's 20 cents, so it's got to be 70s. 73. I always like to find out what the date is on those. And then I picked this. I thought it looked really cool. It has like a bronze looking cover, even though it's from the 80s. And I don't think I've ever read this before. Kind of reminds me of John Sable a little bit. That's Dan Dare. And I know Pacific Comics are always high caliber. Great art, great stories. Anytime you pick up one of these, it's going to be a good read. I don't even know what year that is, but it is from 86. And this is mainly my cutoff now for collecting. I went back to my original focus, which is don't buy anything. It's got to be really, really good to buy it past 86 or 88, somewhere in that. I give myself a leeway, 86 to 89. Pick this up. Not for resale. Just a reprint of Silver Surfer. I don't even know what year that's from. She brought this one out. She goes, this one is included, and so that was free. Fighting 5, pretty sun-faded. And there's one more comic. I think it's over here. So I also found this. This is The Lost Adventure. So issue 108 was never finished or published. I don't know if they went with a reprint or something, but this is the publishing of that issue that was never published. You can see right there. So pretty cool. This is actually going to Roger. This will probably go to Roger. I think this is going to him. I asked him if he had these, and I know he likes promotional stuff or weird stuff, so those are going to go to Metarog. So that's what I got at the flea market. I also did buy this, too, and I was going to do research on it, but I didn't have time. It's all metal. It's obviously a cap gun. It's called a Tootsie Toy gun, and this is made in China. But it could be anywhere from early 90s all the way to the 60s. And it's in great shape. I'm hoping that this is at least the 1970s or older. I haven't ever got a chance to research it yet, but it's a really nice piece. And I came and I told the guy, I said, if this is here when I come back, I'm going to buy it. Because I had money for comics, and that's my priority. And I came back, it was still there. I was shocked. This is a really nice piece. Okay, on with the haul. Man, how far have I gone already? 5 minutes? What does it say? 44. Anyways, These, I picked up one in the dollar bin, but I always buy these whenever I can find them for $1. It's the Origin cover and Origin issue. So that's a cover by Carmine Infantino. But how many times have you seen a Flash comic with his Origin on? As far as I can remember, this is the only one that I know of. So that's why I pick it up. I think it's really cool. The art is awesome. And look at this lightning. It's coming in, it's hitting the shelf, but and transferring its potent electricity power and charging the chemicals without damaging the shelf at all. Not even a nick, not even a little piece out of it. It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's a really cool cover. And anytime I got to find them in high grade, and I'll pick them up for $1. Okay, moving on. So then all of the rest are Golden Age except for those and this one here. I picked that one up at the comic shop. Actually, I bought 2 issues. I bought the first Mademoiselle, DC All American War, and they had $80 on it. It was like a VG Plus copy, and I wasn't really buying big books, and I don't know much about it, that key. But I was on the phone with my buddy Joe from Black Box Silver and Bronze, check out his latest haul. And he's like, oh, I want that. I need it. And he's like, how much? I looked it up, and at the grade it was going for like 160, so according to the Key Collector app anyway. So they had 80, and he's like, that's a great price. So I bought it for him, and then I bought this book. This was $8, but this book is going for like 20, 25. So I said, it's high grade, and this entire issue, Thor is a frog, so I think it's second Throg. I'm not mistaken. I don't know much about this, but this is one like this is 1986. It fits right in there. So cool. I'm glad to have that. So all Golden Age, I think, but I'm not sure. I showed this perhaps somewhere already on a video, but I bought this nice Action Comics. This is number 122 from 1948. It's a Wayne Boring cover. I paid $52 for this. You can't tell, but it has Bug Chew on the cover. But because the cover is white and the splash page is white, you can't see it, and it looks really nice. I'm actively looking for any Golden Age Superman covers, Superboy covers, where he's racing a train, or he's getting shot at, or lightning striking him. Covers like that I'm looking for, especially where he's getting shot or where he's bending steel. So those are the ones I'm really actively looking for. That's number 122 from 1948. That was in my comic shop buy. And this one was there at the same time for $2, and it's an interesting comic. It's a Charlton, and it's Jack in the Box number 16. It's kind of a good girl cover. It was $2. Or no, sorry, it was about $5. But check this out up here. It says, what does it say? Incorporating Yellow Jacket comics. So I don't even know what that means, because I looked in here. There's no Yellow Jacket story. And I'm just guessing it. Maybe this was Yellow Jacket title before this issue. I'm not sure. Maybe Steve from I Love Disney, or from Steve from Charlton 66 will tell me. Okay, so these next 2 books, go back and watch Joe's video. The best meeting story ever. So let me tell you about this, and I'll show you some books. He moved from Hawaii to Tennessee, and he had to ship his car, and of course he had to pick it up in California, which is the closest, port to the continental United States, and then he had to drive it back to Tennessee. And these are some of the books that he had bought in California. And he'll talk about that in the video. He doesn't show or remember which ones he traded. Well, this is kind of a trade. So he's on his way back. I called him because we talk a lot, and he's couldn't really hear me. The audio was bad. He didn't have Bluetooth set up in his car. He has an older phone. So he's like, well, Mike, just call me when I'm off the road, or call me right in the morning when you think before I get on the road. So I didn't call him for a few days, but just to check in and see how he's doing and make sure he's okay. He was kind of towards the end of the day, and I said, you know what? Let me call him and see where he's at. So I called him, and I'll show another book that he traded me here. And I said, where you at? I'm gonna wait because there's some good books. So he goes like, I said, where you at? He goes, I'm a mile and a half from Little Rock. I'm like, okay, and I'm looking at the signs because I'm a truck driver. I'm coming back from Oklahoma, and I'm looking at the signs, and it says 96 miles to Little Rock. So I'm like, that's about an hour and a half. I said, that's weird. I'm about an hour and a half too. And he's like, well, I just passed mile marker 88. And so I look and I wait, and I'm like, I just passed 89. I'm like, no way. I said, you're like a mile behind me or two. So we were like kind of freaking out for a little bit. So I said, well, let me pull over. I pulled over at exit 101, and then he pulled over, and it was like, I was like, weird. What are the odds that he's 1 mile behind me? So we had some books that he had bought for me, and I already sent his to his house. And he had some books I passed on. So when he got on, he's like, well, let me see everything you got. And I know one of the books he had I really wanted, but he was sending it to Jerry. So are you attached to any of this? So he owed me, I don't know, like $100 or something. I had sold him a Phantom, and he'll show that one, and that Mademoiselle. So I grabbed this one, and I grabbed this one, and I grabbed a few more. I grabbed one that I regret not grabbing before. Didn't know he bought it. And so I grabbed that one. And so he owed me like $100, came out to like 82. I'm like, don't worry, dude, we're even. So those two books, and that's Captain Marvel Adventures number 140 from 1953. This is Candy number 18 from 1950. And as I search eBay constantly, I saw these two books numerous times. And I think he had got this for 20 and this one for 18. And these books, I saw this for 170. I saw this for 60. So he did really well on that. Right? So it passed off to me. Now this book was a My Comic Book buy. I never heard of this, but it's kind of an odd Golden Age Good Girl title. So I thought, I should grab that. It was $25 with the shipping. It's called Junie Prom Comics. So from what I can see, it's pretty scarce. And this is from summer of 1948. And that's the reason I just really jumped on. I kept looking at it. It was cheap. And it's like, that's one of those odd ones that could be worth something that nobody knows that collectors want. And I don't know nothing about. For $25, it's worth a shot. It's complete, attached. It's a like a VG plus to a fine. Anyways, I got to look that one up in the Gerber Guide. So I was in an auction, and they had almost like over 50% of this run of All-Star or Sparkling Stars by Holyoke, which that whole run is scarce. And Holyoke was a printer in the Golden Age, and they ended up publishing just a very few titles, not many. And actually, Fox owed them money, so they lent them the licensing to Blue Beetle, which they printed for I don't know how many issues. It's quite a few, like 15 to 20. And then Fox had to sue to get their licensing back. But Holyoke is really, really unique books. They're very scarce. But I did win two. I got the scraps, but still I'm happy. This was $13 from 1946. Just a really scarce book. And if you don't believe me, put this on your search, want list, whatever, eBay, and see if it comes up ever. So I won number 13 and number 20. And this one is like a VG minus, and this one's like a G plus. And this one was 13. Also has a Saul Brodsky cover. And I am actively collecting these. I'm not going for one right now. One is really not that scarce. But everyone else in the run is. And I have probably like 4 or 5 of them. Now I got like 7. So happy to find this. I've been looking for this for years. People that know Charlton know this book. There's only 2 issues. It's pretty scarce. And this ended up being $26 on My Comic Shop. Now to me, My Comic Shop is a mystery. So there you go. The Mystic Zaza. So figure this one out, Zaza. They listed this as a 0.5. And I didn't see what year this was. I got this book in, and I was worried because that grade, they don't give you pictures. They give you a stock image. So it could be anything. A split cover, missing centerfold, missing back cover, 0.5. You don't know. This book is not a 0.5. It's a 2.5. And what's wrong with this? It has a split about 2 inches, and it's missing that piece of the cover right there. Other than that, the cover's tight. The centerfold's there and very tight. No rust. So really a great buy. This was $26. And this book in this grade goes for $100 or more every time you see it. And there's not even one on eBay right now. Actually, the cover is detached. Huh. I didn't think it was, but this is 1956, and I don't want to handle this too much, but it's still, even with the cover detached, it's well worth more than the $26 that I paid at my comic shop. So that's Zaza the Mystic, number 11. And this was another title before, I forget the title. So basically there was a title before this, and then there was 2 issues. There was a title after that. And Charlton did that. They ran 2 or 3 new titles and then would switch. And there's a few that are really scarce. This one and Public Defender are, and they may be in the same run. So Zaza the Mystic. And then this book's chipping. There's 4 pieces right there. It just fell out of it. Okay, so this book, gotta pause. All right, so this book, I'm buying these every time I can get them for under 50, and they're scarce. So I finally got a second copy, and I looked for the first copy for well over 3 years. There was one copy on eBay for those 3 years that had crayon all over the cover, and they wanted 50 and they wouldn't come down. And I was like, I'm not buying that. So I found one copy actually last year. This is All Funny's number 16, 1947. And I finally found the second copy. Now this book is a big win-win. So let me tell you how Nighttiger operates. So this book was $39.99 on auction. Nobody bid on it. I could have actually got it for $10 less, but just in case, I had to make an offer, and I offered him $50, and he took it. But not only is this the first appearance, or the first time Superman and Batman team up as characters in DC, in a DC comic, this is actually, and I'll show you here. And I'll show you here, this is an error copy. So I think 1 page out of this book, or 2, they didn't print the blue color. And it looks really cool. And I didn't notice it until I was shooting pictures for Instagram. So it's an error edition, first appearance of the Batman Superman character team up in comic books. Now remember, the next time they actually teamed up officially in a comic book was World's Finest number 71, 1954. So 7 years later. So hopefully you guys forget about this, because I want to find every issue I can. Now I bought this with the Junie cover. This was cheap, and I was looking at it. It's in really nice shape. Kind of an odd Good Girl kind of title. It's by DC. I'm not even sure how many issues this ran. I know it wasn't too many, probably like 5. Miss Beverly Hills of Hollywood, number 3. I paid $31 with the shipping, and this is from July 1946, and it's pretty scarce. And I have to just guess it's probably going to be hard to find this issue in this grade, if you find it. So that's Beverly Hills, number 3, July 1946. Ooh, I need to wrap this up. Don't die. This book, another oddity out of the Golden Age. This is from I didn't even write it in here. Well, let's look at it. It's in really nice shape. Oh my goodness. I saw this on eBay, and I'm like, he had a little more. I think he had 75 on this. And the oddity of this book is this one issue out of the title was printed by Pine's publisher. The title, the issues before, the issues after were printed by Atlas. So I don't know what happened, if they couldn't meet deadline or something, and they got Pines to publish one issue for them. But this one cover is by John Severin, and the title has all these bullet holes. It makes it look really cool. The other issues do not have that in the title. This actually has some, I forget, some famous artist art in it. It's 1952, but I ended up paying $50 for that with shipping. And I am very happy with that. A very high grade Golden Age war book. Another one. Now, guys, if you want to collect Golden Age, go to Anthony's Art and Collectibles on eBay. I think that's his name. This guy has incredible books, and all of them, most of them are all below retail. And when I saw this for $142, I couldn't pass it up. From all my days of searching and learning, and I knew this was something. This is Jumbo Comics number 27, very early issue, and a really nice copy for an early issue. It's obviously it's not high grade, but it's VG, and it has tight staples, centerfold's tight. Other than what you see here, there's no other cover pieces missing. And this is from 1941, early issue. This also has Will Eisner art inside, and he signs it HECK with an exclamation point, and he does 2 interior stories. So pretty cool. This was free shipping with tax and everything. I think I made an offer, so with tax and shipping it came out to $142 even. And Anthony's good. If you make him an offer, he usually will honor it, and if it's too low, he'll counter with you. So last 2 books. Now these came from the trade with Joe. This was one that I passed on because it's missing a page. And did I list what it was? I didn't. But so this was, he bought it for around probably $38, and I passed on. It's missing a page, but Ghost Rider number 1, 1950. So it's like it is a 0.5. But who cares? This book is so scarce, and for $38, I don't know why I passed that on it the first time. But I was lucky to get it. Dick Ayers cover, Dick Ayers interior, first solo series of the Golden Age Ghost Rider, and presents really well. So I'm really happy to add this in my collection. Ghost Rider. I just never thought I would have Ghost Rider number 1. Who thinks they're going to get this book for less than $40? And then the big one, not the last one, but the other last ones are big ones, but this big one, I've been after for a while. I stopped buying for about a month, and a listing came up. I sent it to Jerry the Jitterbug. He ended up buying the book. And then one came on auction for around, I think it ended at like 60 something, but it was much lower grade. It had a lot of defects on it. I still tried to win it. But when Joe showed me this for $62, I was like, sold. VG copy. I looked it over. Solid copy. Nothing loose. Nothing missing. It has a miscut, but that's notorious for Wiz. Wiz Comics number 49, 1943 of December. Classic Nazi cover by C.C. Beck. And there he's singing the marching American military song while he's kicking the Nazi in the head to keep the beat. I love it. I am so grateful. This is definitely going on my wall. I'll let you look at that for a little bit. This is another one. If I can find it under 60 in a VG, I'll buy it every day. Okay, so the last 2, I added some more slabs to my collection. I couldn't pass these up because they were going for the raw, even less than what they go for raw. So I have to say, eBay in the Golden Age market before about 2 weeks ago there was nothing for like months. It was all my comic shop listings, and most of it was just junk. And all of a sudden, starting last week, there are tons of books coming out onto eBay from the Golden Age for incredible prices, way below retail. It's like prices have dropped like 30 to 40%. I don't know if people are trying to get rid of stuff to get money because of the rising cost of the economy, but it's benefiting us collectors. I had to tell myself on a few other slabs not to buy them. I actually made an offer on another one because I couldn't pass up the price, and because I didn't want to spend the money, I offered them another $10 off. So let's see what happens with that. So this is Crack Comics, my first one in my collection, number 23 from May 42, 4.0. This is CGC Universal label. You can see it's got Condor Man on there, Black Condor, which DC ended up buying the quality characters back in, I think they bought them in 55. They didn't start using them till the 70s. You got the Clock, Spitfire, Molly the model, Don Q. Really nice looking book. What did I pay for this? I paid $149 for this. In this condition, that's usually what this book will go for, even more in raw. So I'm very happy with that. And these two bring my slabs up to 13 that I own. This was the buy of the last few weeks. This is a book I never really thought I'd have, especially in this grade, in this condition. It's a 3.5. It is a CBCS. But look at that book. Now, what did this cost me? $280 for this, which is a steal. I believe if I wanted to right now, I could throw this online and sell it for $400 immediately. It's a Christmas cover, has a Catwoman story in it. It's really nice and clean and bright. Golden Age Batman. This is from 1948, number 45. And it's got Bill Finger's story in. I believe that he does the Catwoman story. Yeah, I can't believe I have this. And I told myself I purged most of my 90s and older books out of my collection. I'm going to focus more on Golden Age, higher grade books. That's my focus. Not that I won't buy other stuff if it's the right price, but that's my focus. And I'll be looking now when I'm out, instead of in dollar bins, I'm only going to buy Bronze Age stuff that's in nice condition so that I can either have doubles or I can move it on to you at a really good price. All right, so that's the haul, man. It's been a while. I appreciate everybody sticking around. Let me know what you think. Check out my mystery boxes and comment on those. I want to know. I want to try to find that right price point. I need to keep it at 120, so I got to calibrate the keys to where it's way worth the 120 per box to take a chance on it. So I hope that works out. Thank you, everybody. And also, I have a secret contest still going on. I can't tell you any more about that, except that you need to figure out what it is. But I got a good prize here. Some keys, some really good Bronze Age books for the next win, a t-shirt. Who knows what else will be in there, but it's Nighttiger. Peace out, my brothers, my sisters. And just let me know what you think in the comments. Happy 4th of July. And hopefully I'll be a little more proactive to be on YouTube. Just really getting burnt out. So I'm trying to limit what I do. And peace. I could talk forever on comic books.